If someone you love can't...
Hello everybody, how are you doing? Welcome back to another race live stream, and sadly the final race of this season's Zwift Racing League. Hello everybody, hello, just joined the live chat. Alex, how you doing? Drew, thank you. Mads, I'm good, thank you. I'm feeling okay. Good evening, David. Evening, Johnny. Thank you for the good luck. Put a new YouTube video out earlier this afternoon. I have pinned the link there in the chat. So we've got some time to kill. If you want to go and watch that video, then yeah. Support a person out. Support the channel. How many prestige races are left? Good question. I think there's 1 or 2. I think the 9th of January is the final one, or sometime around then. Hey, good evening, Crank. I'm okay, not so bad, not so bad. Ready for another race. I've turned my training difficulty right down and see if I can make some kind of sense out of this weird sensation that's happening with the trainer resistance. Lots of you have been saying that since the last couple of updates on Zwift that it's been affecting your trainer resistance sensation. So we'll see if turning it down a bit, the training difficulty is gonna help that. We'll see. And I've gone live early. Smart move, Callum, smart move. Taking some time off the bike when you're ill. Very smart. Whoa, red straight away. Yeah, look, my resistance has just dropped there for some weird reason. Let me just double check what it's set at. Turn it down a bit more. I will see, I'm not sure yet, Callum, I am not sure. No, look, there's the resistance just going. Look at that. What is going on? Why does it lose resistance like that? I'm on Bluetooth. I've been told never to use Am Plus again. Actually, let's double check. Let's double check. Because it should be. Yeah. Very strange. I'm not the only one that's reporting these things. Not sure which one to watch, Modern Cycling Fitness Boom or this live. Well, it's only an 8-minute video, so you might be able to watch both. If you look at the bottom of the screen, look, can you see how spiky my power output is just down there? Now normally if I smash that trainer difficulty really far down, it'll be quite smooth, and obviously there's something going on for it to be, it's making like micro changes, and with the trainer difficulty set this low, it really shouldn't be moving at all. No, it's on 3-second power. Always has been. Oh, hang on. It's kind of leveling out a little bit. Maybe it needs to warm up. Like me, maybe it needs a warm-up. It's getting there now, it's getting there. Let's see what happens though as the gradient goes off a little bit here. No, it's struggling. It's struggling. Although there is a bit of a drop there between 15% and 3%. But look, my cadence is way too high there. Something is off. Something is off. Let's see, I'll just try settling into a bit of a rhythm for a couple of minutes and see if it behaves itself. I just had a thought. I'm going to go back to Utopia. Not Utopia. Back to the actual world. See if the trainer difficulty behaves itself down there. Hey Goofy Greg. No, it hasn't started yet. We've got about 15 minutes until we start. We start at around 6 PM my time, so roughly on the hour. Alright, let's get back down to the bottom again and then we'll see, because I do know that sometimes when you're on a climb portal, training difficulty doesn't like it, or resistance doesn't like it. Oh, that's interesting, Big Dub, that's interesting. Thanks for sharing. What setup am I using? Oh, in terms of smart training, I mean, I'm using a Kickr V6. I'm using Windows. And, yeah, Bluetooth connections. Okay, we're back into the real world. Let's see now if the trainer difficulty behaves a little bit. Okay, that's good resistance. Let's see. Good luck in your race, by the way, 7:30. Anybody else race in? Let us know, let us know. No, look. The resistance is still all over the place. I'm gonna put it all the way down to 0. Because I don't know what's going on. Let's put it down to 0. What bike setup am I using? I will show you. Sorry, I thought you meant actually. I thought what you're actually using. As the S works. Looks nice, that, doesn't it? I haven't upgraded it very much though. Fred, the first one's always the same, buddy. First one's always the same. Okay, actually having trainer difficulty set to 0 has kind of flattened things out a little bit. No weird resistance yet. Fingers crossed. Oh, no idea, Callum. I just turn up and I just race. Got to think about the next race. The next race is tonight. And we're dealing with one of the best e-racing cyclists in the world at the minute. And the speed potatoes. Well, at least on Thursday night we were. But he's titled his YouTube video, I think it was, what was it? Ready to win or something. The last race. So I don't know how we're going to prevent that. How do we prevent that win? Okay, 0% trainer difficulty seems to have stabilized that issue with the resistance. Well, I appreciate the confidence, Callum, but that's very, very wishful thinking. It's the end does not suit me actually, because the climb is 2-minute max effort, and that's nowhere near anything that I've been close to competitive on in the last couple of weeks. So we may have to fill the race with the tacks early on to try and get away, but even that will be really hard. Actually, I really like zero trainer difficulty for racing. I actually really like it. Oh, best of luck, Morton. Best of luck. That's a good race. The Brownlee Hare and Hounds. Who wants it more? Yeah, I've heard that one enough times in the last 15 years. And I know that it doesn't... The math doesn't add up. Anyway, let's get out of this view, because it's terrible. There you go. Okay, how long have we got? About 10 minutes? 10 minutes, okay. Well, we've had a few comments now about zero train difficulty being impossible to race at, but I've done it for quite a few years. Maybe not exactly zero, but very close to it. 10%, 20%. Not really makes much of a difference, but I actually quite like it. But that's coming from a person that's not really a punchy rider anyway, so. Oh, it's getting warm in here. It's not really been cold lately down here in the paint shed, and we had a couple of races where it was really cold, really cold, and now it's probably more like high teens in here after I get going, and with the windows open as well. But because it's like 12 degrees outside, 10 degrees, 12 degrees, it's colder than that with wind chill, but obviously there's no wind chill around here. It's Oh, Big Dub. Sorry, I didn't see you ask that question to begin with. On weeks I race, do I keep VO2 or TTE workout and swap the race for which structured workout modality? Well, at this time of the year, and when I say this time of the year, I mean for the next couple of weeks, because I've not really started training yet. I'm not really thinking about anything like that too deeply. I do the race. Whatever comes from the race, in terms of like, what is the most like obvious stimulus from doing that race. So if we get in a breakaway from the gun in this race and ends up being like, you know, pretty much a threshold, you know, 30 to 40 minute effort, my other workout in the week will be something on the opposite end of the spectrum, like 30-30s, something on variability, or short duration, like 3-5 minute efforts. The like I said, I haven't even started like getting into training cycles yet, so that kind of answers your question for where we are now, maybe. Alright, 5 minutes. How do I get my orange tick on Zwift on a profile picture? I'm a verified athlete. Wow, Martin, that's warm, 15 degrees. Yeah, that's, I mean, each to their own, Big Dub. I mean, the thing is, you know, we're both at different ends of the training spectrum as well, probably. You know, I know he's just come back from the World Championships, so he was obviously, you know, going there in reasonably peak shape. So maybe he's now looking to capitalise on that and do some work around, you know, that kind of thing, whereas I'm just gradually getting back into, because I had some time off. Sorry if people have already heard the story. I had some time off. I didn't really do any races or anything for maybe 4 to 6 weeks. And now I'm just gradually getting back into things. So this is my only real big intensity day of the week, other than like maybe one other day. But the one other day is, I'm not really trying to do anything other than just lay some consistency in. I'm not trying to improve or progress, or there's no like measurable, you know, outcome, if you will, other than big picture. I'm just trying to make sure I maintain a bit of consistency on the bike, so that when I start training with some structure in maybe 2 weeks time, then, you know, we can push on, hopefully. Hey, thank you, Niall. Thank you everybody who's joined for the start of this race. If you could hit that like button, thank you very much. It's free. It helps the stream out, helps the channel out, gets people seeing the channel and the racing a bit more. And yeah, it goes a long way to support, and it costs nothing at all. So thank you very much. Do I have a job? Yes, I've been doing it for a good few years now. I coach. I coach primarily people that do roughly the same thing as me. Endurance challenges, Grand Fondos, personal challenges, that type of thing. I'm very passionate about what I do, and equally passionate when someone else is doing something very similar. But I love doing what I'm doing right now. Live streaming and making YouTube videos and everything else involved in it. And getting to use products and work for brands. About 5 years ago, when I made the switch to being like a self-supported, self-sponsored athlete, working with brands rather than racing on teams, it was a bit of a jump. So I've been self-employed for the last 5 years, technically, and been loving it, I have to admit. Okay, I need a fan. Oh my word, I need a fan. Otherwise it's going to get hot very quick. Let's get that connected to my... Oh, blimey. 16 seconds to go. Here we go. Attack straight away. Good as Steve. Now the question is, do we try and attack? Because if we're there at the finish, it's a 2-minute watt per kilo test, and there's going to be guys here who can do 600-700 watts maybe, and I'm probably more likely to do 450. There's no doubt I'm going to be a marked man as well, so that makes it even more difficult. I don't know, folks. What should we do? What shall we do? The logical thing is to wait. Of course, there's going to be one person that says send it. What kilometre is the subway exit to the bridge? I don't know this course yet really, so I appreciate the kilometre marks. Good evening, yonder. Yeah, it's a hard uphill finish. Oh, level 90. Congrats. Cheers, Joe. Cheers, Joe. No, I appreciate the input. That's the cool thing about the stream, guys. New viewers, hit that like button, subscribe if you're really new here. Welcome, enjoy the race. Ugh. Hey Nico! Welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining. Boris, how you doing? Good to have you here. Hey, thank you, Nico. Show the love up. Thank you, Crank Green Watts. Thank you. Cheers, BPM. Thank you everyone for the update on the front of the race. Alright, let's get locked in. Let's get locked in, as they say. One final effort. Let's go, Jesse. Everyone shouting for you in the chat. Descent coming up. 5k to go. Let's hit that like button before I run out of breath. Hit the like for more watts. We need more than 300. Come on. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Oh man, that's demoralising. Ah, I want to beat them one day. I want to beat them one day. Like for like as well. Not from a breakaway, but that was my only option there, because I'm nowhere near that level. That level there, you see the top guys, is another level. Oh. And it's all relative. I am not there yet, but I will be there. 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 Mark my words, I will be there. Okay, we're gonna have a cool down. We're gonna have a cool down. Well done, everybody. Awesome ride. Awesome ride. Awesome ride, everybody. Let's have a look at this final then. Let's have a look at this final. Because on a map that probably looks, I mean on the graph it looks terrible. Make sure you like the stream before you leave. There's always a steep drop off of viewers just as the race finishes. I will try my best to remember to say please like the stream just as the race finishes, to catch the most of you then. Those of you that hang around to the end, you're the real OGs. Unless of course you have to run off for something urgent, then I'll let you off. Okay, so that finale then. That was flat out basically. Flat out. Couldn't do any more. And to be honest, I thought it wasn't going to work when I initially did the first little effort there to get away. I thought everybody's going to be on it straight away, but then I noticed everyone was typing in the game chat, so people were probably distracted, and that's the only reason why I got away. It was handy to have a rider just up the road when I got across. Not so handy that rider didn't then do any work when I flicked the elbow. Maybe the rider was really tired, in which case that is fair. But it was just a little bit of a lull. I think it didn't change anything, but I was like, mentally I thought, oh, if you could just pull a little bit, then that's a little bit extra. But you know, such is life sometimes in a race scenario like that. There's nothing you can really do about it. So pushed on. I knew the last bit would be like advantage group, basically, because of the speed they carry into it. And as some of you were saying in the game chat, like when a group that big just flies into the bottom, there's not really much you can do. You know, I was going as hard as I could, and I knew they would come across to me because the gap was so small. But I thought maybe if a couple of the strong riders had gone right from the bottom, it would have strung out earlier, and I might have just found myself in a situation where I was just sliding through single riders rather than sliding through a big group. And that didn't happen, so I ended up just sliding through one big group basically. But emptied myself, and I think 420 watts for 4.5 minutes is a decent effort, and I knew it would be a good effort. In the last 90 days, my best 2-minute effort has only been 440 watts. I haven't really pushed myself over that duration. But given the nature of this course and the way it finished, I thought attacking where I attacked would be a really interesting place to attack. You know, whether or not it works or not is another thing. You know, the Zwift Racing League is great format. I love racing on the Zwift Racing League, and it's not like, for me particularly as this is the first season back, it's been more of just to see a progression and to see how I can move forward and also get a feel of the competition. The competition is really high, as no doubt you've seen there, and over the last couple of weeks. It's been fantastic to race against these riders. They really are pushing me, and hopefully I can get to a good level in time for the next Zwift Racing League, where I can equally push them and give them a bit of a run for their money. Yeah, still 5 watt per kilo average, of course. Yeah, of course. But oh, my arm. Oof. No, I don't think I went too early. I mean, could have gone slightly earlier than I did, actually, because of the nature of that flat section. If I was a little bit, I think where I attacked there was a really good location. I think if I'd attacked maybe 20 seconds before that while we were in that tunnel, it might have got a couple of extra seconds, but it also means it's a couple of extra seconds for people to respond. In hindsight's a wonderful thing. Sometimes just attacking and seeing what happens is equally as fun, and it's what I think many of you have been watching my live streams. It's what I've been known for, really, throughout my whole racing career, is being an attacking rider, not sort of necessarily sticking to the rule book. And although we're definitely seeing more riders, like the top 3 finishers tonight, you definitely see those kind of riders racing the same way I do. And I think the difference is that they've got a real good chance of racing lots of ways, and because they have quite all-round attributes, they can attack really early in a race and get in a breakaway and work in the breakaway and then still be able to sprint to the end. I'm not quite like that, so I need to kind of make the race hard to maybe not. I can't always let it come to a finish, and that's why watching my live streams, watching the way I race, people have often said it's an entertaining watch sometimes, even if it doesn't work out, because I often lay it on the line and just try it no matter what. And the really good thing is about virtual racing, sorry to go on a ramble, is that you can do this and it doesn't really impact much, unless of course you're racing a really top level event. Of course, Zwift Racing League is the pinnacle to a certain extent for a lot of people, but it's all about getting what you can out of some races. And it's for me, I enjoy racing that way. And if it works, if it doesn't work, I just prefer to race sometimes on feel and assess afterwards. Sometimes it's not the right thing. Sometimes I get some negative feedback about how I race. Sometimes I never get any negative feedback for being a wheel sucker, sitting in and waiting to the finish. But sometimes I get some, they're not negative comments, but people just saying, oh, you shouldn't have attacked as much, or you shouldn't have, wasted so much energy. And each to their own. And anybody who remembers me racing the World Championships a few years ago on Zwift, I can sit in, I can be patient, I can wait. I can do both. But for the most part, when I'm streaming, I love doing something. So thank you, Steve, for calling me a sitting duck. I was a little bit towards the end there with the speed of the group, but who cares? Everyone's got different different riding styles on a bike. You're definitely right. He does spend a lot of time out of the saddle. He's very, let's just say, he's very well built up top. So he's obviously used to standing up the whole time, and just looks like a very strong athlete, put it that way. If you meet me in real life, you'd probably think that, I don't know, I look about 15 years old with no muscle mass. But each to their own. That's what makes me not an ultra endurance cyclist, but certainly an endurance cyclist. And that's part of my history in the sport, really. What's going on here? Crank Greenwatt, 5 gift memberships. Thank you. Oh, that is so kind. Thank you so much. Check it out. You got the bot working overtime there. That's a really cool feature as well that I've just discovered is the gifting memberships. It's a really nice way to include the community and get people on board. So thank you, sir. Thank you. Exactly that, Dusty, exactly that. And long-time viewers, because I appreciate in this world of social media, lots of people are new, and I don't know who's new and who isn't, most of the time. But if you've been following the streams for long enough, you'll know that I often race in that way as well. So that's the way it is. That's the way it is. No worries, Steve. No worries. I've got to have this little cool down before I jump on a video call. I've got a video call at 7:30, guys. I'm having a chat with, me and Charlie are having a chat with a friend because we're going out to South Africa in spring next year. We're going out there for somebody's wedding, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to take my bike though. Or maybe I should hire a bike. Get in touch with someone through the power of social media. Hire a bike. Save me flying out there with one. We might be going out there for 2 weeks. We'll see. I mean, going all that way, I feel like you do have to spend a bit of time there. Anybody else been to South Africa? Specifically the Cape Town area? Let me know. Reach out on Instagram, maybe. Oh, Jason, I tell you what, I love the Tourtopia. I love the FRR races. They are awesome. I've got to be honest, I meant to get back into them, but because I was moving house at the start of the year, that kind of affected my plans. And then, to be honest, I actually forgot about signing up for it later this year. So when is the next one? It's got to be in the new year now, surely. Oh, nice, Cal. Going up Mount Olympus. I've seen that climb. I have seen that climb. Oh, January. Let me make a note of that. Have they changed the way you sign up? Because I remember their website being a little bit hit and miss. Actually, is there a back pedal team for the FRR series? I don't think there is, actually, because there's so much going on at the minute with the Zwift Racing League. So if you enjoyed this stream, everyone, hit the like button, subscribe. There's been a fair few subscribers actually in this race tonight. It's been really good to see. Thank you for joining. Allows you to comment in the live chat as well, because that's a feature that I switched on. Oh, my heart rate is still high. Whew. If I've just jumped off the bike now, straight after the race, I'd have been just walking around at 130 beats a minute. Sometimes it really does pay to have a little bit of a cool down. I don't know if it is Callum, actually. I don't know if there's UK. I think there was. Sorry, I think there was this year. I think there is next year. I'm not 100% sure. Hey Jason, thank you so much for tuning in. See you next time. Have a good evening. Have a good day. Have a good week. Stephen. Oh, Stephen. It all depends on the race for me. or the training session. Sometimes I need to mentally just disconnect. Mentally disconnect. So if you enjoyed tonight's live stream, I've just actually posted a YouTube video. It's only 8 minutes. 8 to 9 minutes. And it's titled, What's Really Behind the Cycling Fitness Boom? Is that what I called it? I think that's what I called it. It kind of talks along the lines of what you've seen in tonight's race. Or at least if you've watched tonight's race, you will maybe understand what I mean in the video. So give it a watch maybe. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Oh, Jesse. I gotta be honest. I didn't really see much of the race other than I was constantly watching the front of the race, and like I never really concentrated on like where everyone else was. I was just focused on not letting really anything go up the road that was too dangerous. So that first, I think the first 20 minutes, I glanced up and I was like, ooh, yeah, we've gone a bit hard the first 10, 20 minutes, and it didn't really, the course wasn't like even that hard. So there was a lot of surging. There was a lot of long lines. It was all lining out. It was getting a bit dangerous at times. Yeah, it was really interesting actually, Steve. Something I didn't think about as well. Someone mentioned having kids and how that has, impacted. Someone else said as well about living in the middle of Bristol city and not wanting to sort of take their bike out, get it dirty, come home, having to clean it, then put it away again inside their house and things like this. Obviously when I used to live in a flat, there was a similar thing. I remember having to wash my bike outside on the pavement in full view of everybody, because there was no other place to do it. And I never filmed that when we lived there because, well, I did a little bit, but not too much because, you don't want to like draw attention to yourself. But when we lived in a 2-bed ground floor flat, that's what I had to do. So I can definitely relate to some of the comments left on the video. That's it, every little bit helps, doesn't it? Every little bit helps. That consistency, especially during the winter. Someone else said as well that they've found massive value in something like Zwift racing, just virtual racing. They found they're never able to push themselves as hard in training as they do during efforts that they might have to do in a race. And obviously some efforts in a race can be very mixed, so you might not get the best bang for your buck versus doing a training session because it can be very specific. But if you get a race that has very obvious sort of structure and intervals, and like racing in Innsbruck, where you do the leg snapper 4 times, or you do the big mountain on that map and you do it from both sides in one race, you get like 2 by 20 minute efforts, for example. People say they can't push themselves as hard. So, oh, nice one, Jesse. So it was you making it hard for me. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Starting your racing adventure, or Zwift adventure. Every event seems to turn into a race of some kind on Zwift. I think, to be honest, I think I can even relate to that. I don't think even in training, unless I'm doing like all out, 2-3 minute efforts, in terms of heart rate, or if I'm doing a long time trial and I'm gradually sort of like my heart rate gradually rises, and then obviously it peaks in the last 5-10 minutes, and I'm finishing, I empty the tank, like obviously I can hit max numbers there. But yeah, in Zwift racing, I certainly see, if you were to look at a distribution throughout the season, my highest heart rate always come in the winter. When I'm obviously indoors doing a lot of Zwift racing. I'm not spending a long time there, don't get me wrong. It's just at the end of a race or the end of an effort like that you just saw. So it's a very short amount of time. I'm not spending like repeated efforts there. I'm not, generally spending a long time there. But certainly more so than during the season. No way, Emma. I gotta be honest, the other day when they said we had a month's worth of rainfall in 24 hours, I don't know how much rain we had, but we had the rain, and then about a week later we had more rain. Well, we've just had rain every day basically, but then we had more rain, but it was like Armageddon rainfall. I think it was on Friday afternoon, Friday just gone, and the back half of the garden here was a little bit flooded. I think it was because the grass is so saturated. So last night it rained again, didn't it? Well, and it rained this morning. But I woke up this morning and the bottom of the path was flooded again. But this afternoon it's all gone, so it's all drained away. But yeah, we're having a lot of rain. We're having a lot of rain. And I know we keep going on about it, we keep talking about it, but it's genuinely a little bit scary. And Battle on the Beach is coming around again. Of course you know what that is, Emma. But it's a beach race for gravel and mountain bikes alike. That takes place in like March down here near me. And last year it was totally flooded. It was totally flooded. And I'm assuming it's going to be the same this year, because we're having all this water again. Yeah, Steve, as soon as we get a little bit of a break now in the weather, I'm going to go around the shed. I'm just going to give it a little bit of an inspect. Make sure nothing's, there's no gaps or anything, and just give it a little bit of get the windows open for a bit of time. And give it some TLC while the weather is okay. I've been eyeing up one of those oil-filled heaters from Screwfix or from Machine Mart, and I might have it in here ready for the very cold days. Although I should have it in here and on the majority of the time, but yeah, need to get something at least to in preparation, because the winter, although it's been wet, it hasn't been too bad yet, I'd have said. So I'll get that in preparation. Whew. Okay, 7 p.m. There we go. That'll do, everybody. That will do. Now, thanks for tuning in this evening. A nice little, a little attempted breakaway win there at the end, which didn't come off, but it was fun trying all the same. And it was hanging in the balance for about a minute or two. My absolute favourite when that happens, when when you don't know if it's going to stick. Or you know it's not going to stick, but you know it kind of hangs in the balance for a little bit. So there we are. First of all, thank you so much for watching. Returning viewers, new subscribers, welcome and thanks for joining. Phil, thank you for the donos. Thank you for the gifted memberships. Those of you that are members, welcome. Thank you for being part of this wonderful community this winter and beyond. That sounds like I was going to say, like, that sounds like to infinity and beyond there. Yes, so thank you. I will be back with another live stream sometime this week. I don't know if I'll be doing time trial tomorrow night or not yet. We'll see. There's another opportunity to do it on Saturday. So we'll see how the body feels tomorrow. So I will see you very soon. Thank you so much for tuning in. And I'll see you then. Have a good evening, good afternoon, or good day. Take care.